I'm RealGenericDemon, and this is What's on the Tape, Season 26, Volume 2. And it's the second side of this tape, these tapes that I got from OnyxBox the other day. Details in the last week's description, and this week's probably as well. But anyway, I got this one. We did this one last week, nothing loaded, funnily enough, but we don't care, because we got a huge long list of things to look at. We've got Eagle's Nest, we've got Xevious, we've got Nemesis, we've got Nexor, we've got 2112 AD, we've got Mantrox, we've got Killer Tomatoes, we've got Army Moose and SAS Thunderflash, all wrapped up in a lovely W.H. Smith's tape. So this is what we've got for this week. But first, before we disappear, I've got a few things to show you. So I've got a couple of things recently. We'll start with the specky ones, because I've not seen these before, so this is where they're getting into less common things. I've got this one, which is Dungeon Dan. I have no idea what it is. Do you know what, though? Look at the picture. Very hand-drawn, isn't it? It's very, well, we're all hand-drawn back in the day, but it's very sort of paint work, isn't it, that's been sort of reduced down. But yeah, no idea. It's a slightly damaged on the side, but I think we'll live. But I haven't got many of those ones, or I certainly haven't got many by this particular maker, the Arcade Game, as it's called down there. So that's a new one as well for me. It's relatively expensive. I think it's £15. This one is one I've never ever seen before. Dead Enders. It is one based on EastEnders with... Well, it's kind of weird. Unfortunately, the sticker is on the inside, so that's the reason why I got it. I got it at a slightly reduced price, because that sticker is actually there on the inside, which is it's fine. I don't mind. It looks like an adventure game, because you can tell by these sort of pictures here, suggesting it's you've got to do something. But yeah, there's Dirty Dan, and there's all these things. Owl-ups, Loopy the Foul-ups. Oh, it'll be one of those weird things. Somebody's the colon as well. Squeaks of the colon. Yeah, you can tell it's a bit weird, but yeah, it was one I had to have when I saw a cloud opportunity to get it. So I got that and added that to my collection. I've got a few more to whiz by with. This one is up on the to look at the video now. This is Dungeon Munchies. It's about being, well, you're the zombie. She's a necro chef, and you eat everything and sort of become it. It's very, very, very weird. Yeah. So Dungeon Munchies was cheap enough. So I added it to my collection. Of course, we've got Switch 2 to talk about this week. But anyway, and then we've got Darkest Dungeon, also a cheap game at this moment in time. Darkest Dungeon 2, that is, should I say. This is the special edition version. As you can see, I haven't even opened it yet. So I haven't got round to that. But yeah, the special edition version of it. Don't know what it comes with. Comes with a papercraft stagecoach. Ooh, it's exciting. You can make your own stagecoach. Good game, though. I do recommend Darkest Dungeon. I also recommend Darkest Dungeon. Well, I'd say I would recommend it. It's very similar to the first one. So from what I've read, and then two more things came from charity shops. Probably a bit of shovelware, really. We've got Sam Power, and we've got Policeman. Which actually, to be fair, these are this is actually it's Ubisoft. Well, these are actually the part of a sort of series of games. They're actually all right. To be fair, they're all right. They're a bit shovelly, but at the same time a bit repeaty, because of course you got Sam Power Handyman as well, which is where you go off and do handyman thingies. These look like a lot of mini games and things. There's nothing wrong with them. That's just the way they are. Anyway, without further ado, he says, looking for the tape. Without further ado, let's get this into a tape drive. Okay, the tape is in the drive, so we'll get out our favourite, which is basic, and load dit. Load speech marks. Don't need to do that, because I used to call it dit as a kid. That was what I thought it was. I didn't think that, because they look like dits, don't they? Rather than anything else. So yeah, I used to do that as a kid. Now I am kind of hoping. See that was what I was not hoping for. I was kind of hoping this week that the first thing that would happen is that this tape would actually... it's probably been exposed to the elements, let's be honest. It's probably been in a situation where it's been sat there for many years. And you can hear there's like a I think it's probably something like mold or rust or yeah, I mean damage to the tape. You can hear that. There's like a it's a rumbling kind of noise that goes with it all. You'll hear it now in a second. Or will you? Yeah, you will. There. That. It's like it's already encrusted on the tape. That's the nature of these things, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a shame. Let's go see if we can find it on PlayZX to begin with. So let's start by doing that. You never know. We might get halfway through. I mean, this is the joy of what's on the tape. It sometimes happens and it sometimes doesn't. It sometimes they load, sometimes they don't. We have a bit of a, you know, it's the fun of the kill almost. You know, when it actually does happen, it's actually always a surprise almost. They're 40 plus years old, these tapes. So you can kind of give them a break, realistically. They've been sitting around sometimes in dampened lofts and damp garages. If they don't work, it's amazing that when they do, realistically. Very amazing. Very amazing. This is a game that I kind of like, actually, by the way. If there's Eagle's Nest. Let's just show a search. Is it Into the Eagle's Nest? I think it's Into the Eagle's Nest, actually. Let's try the word into. I'm searching there. Into the Eagle's Nest. Oh, wow. There is a player's re-release. It's a really long re-release, but it's the 128k version. I don't know why it's so long to load, though, because it's a really, really long load. There's another one that's a little bit from Pandora, which would be the original. Let's do the Pandora 128k release. I don't know what that really means to anything. Push the button there, go for it. Eagles. Yeah, I always quite like this one. This is a kind of World War II drama type thing where you're going into, I guess the Eagle's Nest is like a castle or something similar. And it's sort of Gauntlet-esque in its style, with sort of a top-down view, walking around a maze-like castle, and I'm hoping this is loading. Yes, it is. Oh, brilliant. That's good news. That's very good news. I was hoping for I was bracing myself for the worst for a minute there. That's quite nice. I quite like that loader. Oh, do you know what? Back in the day when they did load like this, it always kind of caught me off guard. I don't know about you, but I was always caught off guard by the fact that they would do some kind of weird and different loader, because you knew where you're at with the bars on the edge of the screen. If the bars weren't there, you didn't know what you were looking at, because sometimes they were like a little flash of something. Now I don't know what I'm looking at. This could be loading. It might not be loading. You see what I mean? How do we know? Well, we'll just let it run, see what happens. Anyway, so, been exciting news this week, of course. Well, we already knew about the Nintendo Switch 2, but now we have some of the details. And I want to kind of touch on this one with you, because this is an important one. So, the Switch 2, unlike previous Nintendo products where you got a Game Boy and then you get a Game Boy sort of color. Let's do the Game Boy. Let's get the Game Boy to the Game Boy Advanced. In those, so that you could play the old Game Boy games. They literally just put the chip from a Game Boy in. And the same with the DS. The DS could play Game Boy Advance games because they put the chip in for it. The DS to the DS3, you could the 3DS. They basically just put the chip in. They took the system on the chip, and bunged them into the machine. They're not doing that with the Switch 2. So you know what that means, don't you? You do. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the first one to discuss this. That means that the Switch 2, unlike previous Nintendo products where you had the old chip in there as well, so you guaranteed 100% performance and 100% compatibility with every single game in the back catalogue. And do you know how big the back catalogue, by the way, for the Switch 1 is? Over 15,000 games. That's a lot of games. That's a huge number of games. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Oh, perfect. It's loaded. Much to my surprise. There's a little bit of background music here. I can barely hear it, but I'm going to turn up my volume a little bit. Yeah, that's a lot of games. That's a lot of games. Let's play a bit of Eagle's Nest, and we'll go on and talk about the knock-on effect here. We've got classic paintings, precious vases. We've got these are valuables to collect, obviously. Keys. Right. Okay. Let's redefine keys. Level hard. No. Easy, please. 5. Space. Up, down, left, right. Perfect. Let's start the game. How do I start the game? 1 for keyboard. Just press the fire button and you fire. Level 1. Okay, so there's me at the bottom. Level 1, mission 1. I found a key. I'm right there next to the... See, so why I say it's gauntlet, because... Well... Because of the way that you go around the level is sort of gauntlet-y. Look at how they follow you. I kind of like it though, because it's different. Because you're a big sprite on this. You're not a little sprite. You're a big old sprite on this. It's like ungentlemanly warfare. It's like the Dirty Dozen. That's what we are. The Dirty Dozen. And we got ammo. I used to like this one. As I say, it's not a cheap one though. I'll be honest. If you find this one, you're gonna find it. It's oh, died. It's like a £10 game. It's a game that's gonna cost you a few pennies for it. I'm gonna go for it again. Gonna have another go because I've waited years to play this game. Right, get the castle. Blow up the castle. You're on ground floor. Found a key. Where's my health? I can't see my health. Hits it is, I think. I can shoot those away. That's good. Now I've got 2 more keys. Excellent. I don't know how many hits I can take, but it won't be many. That's it. Kill those Germans. Oh, right, okay, what's in this room? Nothing I can see. Shoot those Germans. Who's this? You've shot an officer! Well done, me. That's an officer down. There we go. I've got 11 hits. I don't know how many hits I can take. Not that many, I don't think. But I can only take like 20. And then I'm done. Barrels. Oh, we shoot barrels away. Aha. Shoot those Germans. Let's go this way. Boom. That's more ammo. Let's save that for later. Go on, move into position. Perfect. There's a loo there. As always, there's a toilet. Alright, let's go back this way. You've shot explosives. Oh, you are dead. Oh well, that was a good start. Anyway, we got a bit of Eagle's Nest in there. That was a good start. That was a good start. So, he says, going to fast forward the tape and see whether we can get anything to load off it. We'll put this back to basic and load the dip. It was a good start though. I like a bit of Eagle's Nest. Anyway, fast forward on here. So that means that because they're not doing a chip inside the new Nintendo Switch, you're literally going to have to rely on the thing that often collectors of retro games and retro computers look down on other people with, which is they're going to have to do some variation of emulation. Now, it's not going to be emulation. They've already said this because the device itself isn't powerful enough to run emulation of Switch 1 on the Switch 2 because it's not quite the power. It's like the equivalent of and it's hard to describe this. It's 2 generations ago, mid-range video card or mid-range PC. That's basically where it is, roughly, and only a quarter of the power apparently. So it's not going to be able to emulate, even though it's been available for many years on things like the Steam Deck and whatever else it is. So they're not going to emulate it like that. What they're going to create is a transition layer, which is it's an interesting concept here. So basically, because they're the developers of the code in the first place, they know their chip inside out. Well, in theory, they should. They're going to create a software transition thing. So if it says draw a pixel on the screen or draw Mario on the screen, it's going to send it through the right code in the new processor. To draw Mario on the screen. Here we go. No, it's not. We're not going to be very lucky here. I can feel it. No, I can hear the noises. The worst part is I can hear the noises of it, and I just know how bad that actually is for the Spectrum. Right, let's get this one on as well. This is Xevious. This has an important role in gaming history. It's when people realised that you could scroll the screen or make the screen look like it was scrolling, and actually it was. Let's put Devious in. I want Xevious. Xevious. There we go. Re-release. That'll do nicely. Devious and Xevious, very similar. So anyway, this is one of those important games where they realised they could scroll the screen. It was one of the first games had vertical scrolling, and that. It makes it quite important to the history of gaming. It took what was the original formula of Space Invaders, which is the single screen shooting upwards, and then added that activity of moving the screen on, thus bringing more enemies into the level as you went along. Very clever. Anyway, but yeah, so it's going to be an application layer. It's not going to be that. But what does that mean for your 15,000 games? So if you're a collector of the Switch 1, like I am, I'm going to call it. Yeah, we'll call it Switch 1. We'll call it Switch 1 now. Oh, the OG Switch, if you want to get into that stupid naming sort of convention that people do, like the Xbox, OG Xbox. Really, honestly. Anyway, but the point is that those of us who collect a lot of third-party games. I'm not a big first-party games because there's only about 112, by the way, first-party games for the Switch, which is a testament to Nintendo. And quite often, there's a lot of shovelware that makes it to the Switch, and I get that as well. I mean, a bit like those DS games that I got earlier. But the point being, that's a lovely loading screen. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. But anyway, the point being that those 15,000 games. Because it's an application translation layer rather than even emulation as such, it means that there is going to be, even amongst the Nintendo's first-party games, there are going to be games that aren't compatible. And I think that's kind of sad, really. And I know that if you'd put in the additional chip into Nintendo's hardware, it would have been more expensive to do. But it just feels like they should have done, so that we could have continued to experience original Switch games without having to worry whether or not they were one of the ones that are compatible with their new compatibility layer, or their emulation layer. Well, it's not emulation, it's compatibility. It's basically whether it feeds through its instructions from one side to the other and turns out to be exactly the same. It's adapting the hardware to work with the device. It's very clever. But it's just I think that's a sign of the times as well. I think back in the day, if you told me that the Switch 2 was coming, you'd have guaranteed that the chip would have been on the device. And I think this is a sign of modern gaming. Nintendo who would have always included those elements. I mean, even if you go back to the GameCube, when you bought a GameCube and you wanted to play Game Boy games. Or was it Game Boy Advance games? Can't remember which one it was. Game Boy Advance, I think it was. You had to buy a module that went on it, which effectively was a Game Boy Advance that went on the bottom. So it is there's a lot to unpack here with what's going on Nintendo. I think it's a sign of the times more than anything else. I think they've got to the point where, I mean, the Switch itself, I mean, it's a 13-year-old device at this point. But the point is that it's like everything else Nintendo does. They have very long lifespans, and they have that compatibility. It's taken the shine off it slightly for me. I was excited to get it. I'm also not excited by the fact that, and thankfully they're still Japanese, because the Japanese do have a thing for digital sort of non-digital releases, physical releases. However, they're going to be doing a sort of game card now that you have to download it to your machine. I've avoided all of those sort of cards on a thing for my Switch. I've wanted to be able to at least be able to plug it in and it work, because it's there and I don't have to download anything. I did like that. So I'm guessing that a little bit of the shine's been taken off for me. I mean, yeah, that's those things. But we haven't even got into the pricing thing yet. But I have thoughts on this. So let's play Xevious. Fire. Bomb. Right. Okay. 4 1 player. There we go. I think I'm bombing as well at the same time here. Yeah, I am. I think space must have been bombed by default. So I've managed to tie the two things together by making space my fire button. My fingers got bigger. When I got older, my fingers got bigger. Plus, they're not the same layout as my original rubber key Specky. But yeah, very important game. This whole scrolling thing was I don't know whether they entirely invented it, but they certainly made it famous, which is kind of quite an important thing to the history of gaming. It's not a bad shoot 'em up either as well. It works really well on this. Nice big sort of sprites here. There is a 3D version of this you can get for the PlayStation 1. It's actually really good. It's like the update, and it's 3-dimensional. It's well worth owning a copy. Is it PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2? PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1. It really is worth owning a copy. I'm a big fan of shoot 'em ups. I think I like the repetitiveness of it. The simplicity of it. Every time you start it again, you're in the same. You've got to collect your power ups. You're in the same sort of position. I kind of like it for that. I think. Oh, that was a shot from him. Yeah, I kind of like that from the games. I do. I'm a big sort of big fan of the repetitive nature of it and the loading. I think this is why I quite like the Vampire Survivors games that have come along now, because they're like the same sort of thing. They're effectively, you get your spaceship, you collect power-ups. Your power-ups then allow you to improve your ship as it goes along, and eventually you get beaten and die, and then you're basically building your ship again with the power-ups that you want. Obviously more complex sort of roguelike features of these more modern, advanced sort of Vampire Survivors-like games. It's a little unfair actually to label other games that way as Vampire Survivor-esque, because I'll be honest, Vampire Survivor was the concept was not nicked, but was reappropriated from another developer. So very very clever to change it into something bigger. Need to avoid that. It's very smooth on the Specky. This, by the way, I'm giving this lots of credit here. This is very good. Very, very good indeed. I like it a lot. Yeah, a lot of smoothness to this one. Damn. Oh, maybe it's a big bomb. I maybe missed that. Yeah, it's very good. Push the button too hard there. I can't spell my name. Look at that. That's not demoned at all. Doesn't matter. We're in the top of the table. We're on the bottom of the table. We're rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. I love that. That was brilliant. I like a bit of shoot 'em ups. So we got shoot 'em ups this week. Lots of shoot 'em ups. Quite a few actually, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good sort of. Oh, load it first. That's Let's fast forward this. 48K Nemesis, right? Okay, so yes, so let's get to the pricing. So Nintendo is going to be doing games for between $80 and $90. So that's probably 60 and 70 in the UK, or 70 and 80 in the UK. And before you start grabbing your placards, as the internet has done, because he has, I'll be honest, he has. The placards are out massively. I did a bit of imagine inflation against the games we used to buy when we used to buy them for the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive. Mega Drive game, if you remember back in the day, would average between £35 and £45. Translate that to nowadays money, it's 97 quid, roughly. Between 95 and 110. Yeah. You get your placards out, but when you do the math, it's the same thing. I'm not defending the pricing, by the way, in any way, shape or form. I actually don't think anybody should pay 90 quid, but I certainly remember paying £45 for a Mega Drive game back in the day. What I would say, and I think this is the thing that Nintendo haven't taken into account, is that when I was paying £45 for a Mega Drive game, which is equivalent to about £95, £110 nowadays, I had more disposable income, and the world was much more secure with sort of, your monies, if that makes sense. So we had more disposable income, so that wasn't seen as so much of a problem. Here's this game, hopefully. Nemesis? Come on, one. No. We are really not going to get one to load, are we? This is a good re-release on the old Hit Pack. Or Hit Squad, sorry, Hit Pack. There was a Hit Pack as well, by the way, out of interest. It's just not having it. It just can't hear it. I mean, I'm looking at the tape and I can't see anything on it. I can see it's warped, as in the sense it's bent. It's not flat particularly, but it's not that awful. It could be worse. Right, we'll play PlayZX in. Anyway, yeah. So the point was, I think what they haven't taken into account is that we had more disposable income. I think if they'd stick with a similar pricing to that of the Switch, I'll be honest, even I begrudge that. We had 50 quid sort of for a game for sort of Breath of the Wild, and all Nintendo games are all highly priced. I mean, highly priced, and even the remakes are highly priced, which is a bit disappointing, realistically. They did a re-release of a number of games, and we're still paying the price for them. But in the terms of pricing in comparison to I can't spell Nemesis. Still can't spell Nemesis. Yes, Nemesis. Oh, the final challenge. There is a 128k version. Let's do that as well. This is exciting. We got some 120ks this week. Tape deck. Play. Pulled out cable accidentally there. You got to full blast. Right. Anyway, so I don't know. I think if the world had been progressing the way it was back in the 90s, as in there was there was a lot more cash. There was. There was more money floating around. You certainly had. I certainly felt I had more disposable income in the 90s than I do now. And I'm not suggesting that's because anything other than, I'm not suggesting that's because I've got a house and family, because I had a house and family going sort of through the end of the 80s into the early 2000s. And I always felt that I had more disposable income. I don't have that now, or I don't feel I've got that now. So it's interesting to think, though. So the placards going up about it. I don't like it. I don't like the increases in price. I don't like the standardization of pricing. But you know what? That just applies to the Nintendo first-party products, and it depends. And that unfortunately is why you're buying into Nintendo's ecosystem. You're buying into Nintendo's hardware, and no, I haven't pre-ordered it, even though I absolutely love my Switch. But it took me a few years, by the way, to love the Switch. I'll get into that in a minute. But it took me a few years to actually start loving the Switch, and there is a reason why. But the point is that I haven't pre-ordered it. the pricing is, what's it, $395 for the unit itself, or 430 with the downloadable Mario World, open world Mario Kart. And don't get me wrong, Mario Kart is a great game. Mario Kart 8 on the Switch is fantastic. So you know, the fact of making an open world version of it'll be fun, it'll be interesting. The chat feature they've added is a complete waste of time. I can't see that. I don't care enough. You know, I really don't care enough. I think most Nintendo Switch owners don't care enough about that. It's still a console for sitting and playing at home with friends. So I don't think they care enough about that. But yeah, the Switch itself, though, took me a little while to love. I didn't get it in the first year. I didn't get one the first year. My daughter got one towards the end of the first year and kept showing me games that she was liking and enjoying on the Switch. I got mine about 2 years into it, so I got mine about 2014 rather than 2012 when they first came out. I don't regret waiting. And then I think for the first point, I was just collecting for it. I wasn't trying the games, and I wasn't seeing what was there, and wasn't having a go with them. What I think grabbed me about Nintendo's Switch once it started happening is I realised that there was a vast community, and this is why the 15,000 games are not working on compatibility layer is a factor for me, because my collection is mainly indie developers or smaller development houses. I haven't got big name games. I've got a few Nintendo games, very few. I've got like the soccer. I've got one of the Zelda games. I've got one of the other Zelda games or Link games, but I've only got about 3 or 4 of the 112 or so that they did. So it tells you a lot about what I've actually collected. Mine are mostly the indie titles that I love that are on the Switch, and because of that, and in fact I've got some physical games that you can only buy on the Switch. There are no downloadable versions of it. They actually did it on purpose. So there are games like that exist for the Switch. So my Switch collection is mainly those ones, and that's why I started to fall in love with the Switch, because there was games that you could still buy now to this day. You can still go and buy brand new Switch games, and we're not talking codes in the box. We're talking fixed physical releases with a manual and sometimes a manual, a cartridge and a case and whatever else it is for about £10. They range from sort of £10 all the way up to the phenomenal sort of high prices of limited editions and limited runs. Now, it took a while, as I say. It took a while for me to grasp what I was playing here and what I was enjoying. But slowly it grew on me, a bit like fungus. It grew on me. And it's been growing on me for a while. I mean, the fact that I bought two games cheaply recently, that Dungeon Munchies and the Darkest Dungeon for the Switch, specifically for the Switch. It's the only console I can collect for now as well. PlayStation 4 and 5, I know you can't collect for it. They're all downloadable content. The Xbox One and whatever series it's got, they're all downloadable content. That has not loaded. We need to try something else. We need to try something else. Let me see what I've got. I'm looking behind me because I've got some of my hit squads. Where are you? I can see Nemesis. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I have Nemesis. The hit squad version. Pictures on the back are amazing, but they're for like the Commodore Amiga or something like that. They're fantastic. Stunning graphics. This tape's still got $1.99 from W.H. Smith's on it. Awesome. Right, I'm going to put it in. I don't know if this will load or not, but we'll give it a try. Gotta love loading from tape. So we'll stick that in. Yeah, so it took me a little while, and then it grabbed me, the Switch, and it just got me. And I don't have a lot of downloadable content. A lot of it was given to me by various indie developers, which is fine. You know, that's I get a few odds and sods sometimes, and I put them up if I think they're okay. So I've got very little downloadable content. I like the expansion on it. I like the way it worked. I like the fact that you could take it as a console, a handheld console, slot it in, put it next to your television, and all of a sudden it was a console for more than a few people. It's a fun console. It's not taking itself too seriously, and And you know what? It didn't matter that your cartridges were loaded with games that were from, older than 2013. A lot of Xbox 360 games and PlayStation 3 games ended up on it. But the point is, I don't think you can collect for the PlayStation 4. I don't think you can collect for the Xbox Series. Sorry, the PlayStation Series or the Xbox Series anymore. I do think you can collect for the Switch, or you certainly could do. I'm going to watch it with sort of, I guess, with a lot of interest over the next sort of because it's releasing in June, isn't it? So I'm gonna see what happens over the next 6 months. I'm not pre-ordering. You can't pre-order in most places in the UK at this point in time because they're already sort of sold out. And hilariously, you can't pre-order in the United States because somebody deployed tariffs against Japan. So Nintendo are like, yeah, I'm not sure we can be bothered. Which is quite interesting, really. The launch date's apparently still the same. We can't do pre-orders, so they're watching what's going on with that one. But anyway, the bizarre, apart from bizarre isolationist behaviour, we most of the points are that this is going to come out. It's going to have that PC from, I don't know, X number of years ago, slightly less power. It'll sell great guns. I mean, the fact that it's already sold out, it'll sell millions. It'll sell absolute millions. But has Nintendo done enough to retain the love that we have for its Switch device? I don't know. This is going to be a real test for me, and a real test, I think, for the community. If it becomes more like your PlayStation, your PlayStations and your Xboxes, I think that will be a turn-off for the Nintendo community. They like the oddity of Nintendo. Nintendo has marching to its own tune. It always has done. It's always been weirdly out there from every device it did with its let's produce a device that hasn't got HDMI in this, and let's call it the Wii, and let's make strange console things where you can wave it round, and it becomes an instantaneous hit. Yet the GameCube didn't do as well as it should have done. When everybody else was going to CDs and DVDs, they were doing the N64. It's that they are, the Super Nintendo versus the Mega Drive turned out to be a better console, certainly for Europe anyway. I still believe with the fact that the PC Engine was a much better console for all, but we never got that as such in Europe and the UK. But the point is that they're a bit Apple-esque, aren't they? They're a bit cult. If you want to be in a cult, you join Nintendo cult, and they've really turned me around recently in the last number of years to being in that cult. I like collecting. That's one of my favourite things. I like collecting, but there's only certain things to collect for, and the Switch is one of those things. Buying those 2 games the other day, and I've definitely played Dungeon Munchies. I will play Darkest Dungeon. I do pride myself on at least getting the games that I bought into my console. And the only reason I haven't done it is because I've been so busy last weekend. But getting them into my console and at least trying them, you're giving them half an hour's worth of play, so that I know roughly what I'm doing and what's involved in it. There are just so many good games out there, and there's so much good stuff to be bought. I hope that there's a bit of a gold rush on low-end prices of Switches, because people will be looking to trade them in now. So I'm hoping that the overall price of them as they drop down. I'm not planning to sell my Switch 1 to get a Switch 2. I'm planning to keep it. I'm planning probably to add a couple other ones to it. When the DS's went, I went on a bit of a gold rush. I've got, I think, all 7 versions of them that were released by, we're not talking about colours here, we're talking about the variations of it from the shape of the shells. I think I've got all 7 versions. This has confused me. What are you doing? It stopped. Is there any tape left? Nothing. It's gone red. Let's try again. It must have worked because I've loaded this before on here. Definitely have. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Basic loaded it. Yeah, as I said before, for me, it's. I'm open for a bit of a Switch gold rush, on the old second-hand market. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but But there's 15,000 games to collect. I doubt I've got 1,000, to be honest, of those 15,000. And I'll also be honest that if I have 1,000 of them, they won't have been expensive games. I don't do expensive ones. There are very few of them that are. I always look for a deal and a price from that. And there's the other thing. Oh, God, I just thought of the other one as well. Back to a compatibility layer, and so there is going to be a percentile of games that aren't compatible. What about the limited edition ones you bought? So you bought a bunch of limited run stuff because you really liked it. You didn't go for the high-end stuff, but you went for the £30, £30 to £35 games. You bought those. For instance, I've got the Wonder Boy collection. I've got Space Invaders Invincible. And the Wonder Boy collection has literally every variation of Wonder Boy right the way up to the latest versions, bar the remakes and the sort of, new versions. So it's got all of those arcade ones, all various machines. It's about 12 or 14 versions of it on there, plus all the bits to go with it. Is it going to work? Probably not. The thing that worries me is that's probably the percentile that's not going to work. Your limited edition games that you previously had, so you're going to have to either hang on to your Switch, or you're just going to have to, trade them into me. Send them to me. You don't need those limited editions. I'll look after them for you. Don't you worry. Send them to me, all of them. But you can see where I'm coming from with this, can't you? What's your thoughts? I mean, I really want to know, because and a lot of us, I think, who are retro gamers, the Switch is sort of fitted in a compartment of our lives that kind of works for us as a device. I know we can retro game on our PCs and all the other stuff, but does it fit? Yeah, I was done with Microsoft a while ago. I was done with Sony a while ago. I just didn't want to buy those things anymore. I understand the reason why people like them. You just plug them in, they play, they go. If you want to play games, you can just plug them and go. That is always the console's position in life. It's interesting, isn't it? It's all very interesting. I hope you've got coffee, because I've got coffee. I'm having a beverage now. Well, that's me done, by the way. I'm never going to be sponsored by Nintendo again by questioning their way forward. That's it. Switch 3 comes out. There'll just be questions all over the place. It's not going to happen. Me, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft. I'm on the blacklist now. Yeah, avoid blocked list maybe as well. And let's be honest as well. If they're all sold out for June, they'll be all sold out for Christmas. So you're looking at the new year at the earliest if you can be bothered, and the scalpers will be there trying to flog them on eBay for stupid amounts of money, and people will buy them because they've got no other option. Little Timmy wants one for Christmas, and mom, and that whole cycle of things is horrible. Nintendo have done this before with their mini computers when they brought out the NES Mini and the SNES Mini, and they ran out of them. I mean, even Sega's can be guilty of this. How many of you've got? Quite a lot of you will have the Sega Mega Drive Mini. A lot of you will have those on the Genesis. How many of you got the Sega Mega Drive 2 Mini? Not very many. It was a very limited run, and they sold out like nobody's business. I'm lucky enough to actually have one of those. But the point is, I think I saw it coming and I bought them. I've been a big fan of minis for a while. But the point is, we didn't. Yeah, we should have done better with that. I can't believe it, but we're only on the 3rd video and it's 40 minutes in. You know how many things are on this? Come on, load, load, load. Come on. There we go, it's loaded. Konami's game from the arcade. Was it based on Salamander or was it something similar? It was something similar, wasn't it? But, yeah, Nemesis. Attack the, Bacchion? Whatever. Fantastic graphics, apparently. Typically hard, of course. Let's press R for redefine keys. Left, right. I can't use O. Can't use P, sorry. It's... Oh, it's loading them in. It's going really slow. Right, okay, let's press R to redefine the keys. Left, right, up, down, fire, select. So P's pause. Select is to choose your options for when your ship does it. These used to do that. You used to be able to collect a certain number of orbs and then turn them into whatever weaponry it was. Press 1 for there, S to start. Let's shoot stuff. There's the first one. Missile, that's handy. Don't think I want speed. No, I don't want speed. I want double though. We'll take that. Double shot, look at that. There we go, we'll take double spot. I'll tell you what, I'll take the speed now. Didn't really need it. I want the laser, that's what I want. The options are good though, because they float around you. These are good games back in the day, they really were. If you got a good shoot 'em up, you were very happy. Zybex is one of my favourites. That was a game, who released that? I can't remember now. Oh damn, missed that. There was an opportunity there to get the... Now we're going to fly into the base, I think. Yeah, there we go. Sort of appeared out of nowhere. It's pretty decent speed, this, though. Oh, shit, bullet. I saw it. Too late. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Missile, please. Yes. Oh, no. Straight into the base. Don't want to be in here. I'll shoot these at the top. These will be useful to kill off. That'll help. Oh, option. I missed it. Damn. Killed. It's pretty tough. It is pretty tough. Do you think my videos go longer when I'm yakking about stuff? I think you do, don't they? When I've got something I want to yak about. Yeah, definitely go longer when I'm yakking about something, I think. We've got 0 lives left. We will need to move on fairly quickly, though, because, let's be honest, we're going to be here all day otherwise. And I need to record this, and I need to not record this, I need to render this. And get it out for you guys. It's alright, that one. It's alright, that one. Nexor is next. It's not Nexor, but Nexor. Not like you've got a sore neck. It's not a pain in the neck. That's the other game. Let's fast forward it here. Let's go on. Not sure what else has been going on in the gaming world. Nothing I'm really excited about. Ubisoft being, of course, Ubisoft as usual. I don't know. I mean, how does everybody else feel about this? Do you have a feeling about what you buy, who you buy from at this point in time? Are you voting with your wallet? I've been voting with my wallet for many years, and I don't want to sound like it's a victory, but it's blooming well must be happening because you know, EA is struggling at the moment. They're struggling with their returns. Ubisoft's struggling. Microsoft isn't, but you never know with Microsoft. You know, their share price is just bombed, but so is everybody else's, to be fair. But the point is that I've not bought Microsoft products where I can help it. I just not. I don't like them. I don't want them. I don't want Microsoft games. It's gonna hurt me because I'm not gonna buy Doom. And I didn't buy the Star Wars games from EA because I don't like EA. I'm not going to buy them from Ubisoft because I don't like Ubisoft. Haven't done for a very long time. I think that you know, yeah, you know where it's going to. And have you seen the latest thing as well? Oh, they're going full AI slop now for your AAA games. Not only do they want you to pay AAA money, your $90 or your £80. What they want you to do... Please load. Damn. What they want you to do is they want you to buy games that are almost fully generated by AI. So less people involved, less cost for the AAA developer, but the quality just goes down the toilet. The Ark Aquatic game is the game I'm thinking of here. There's a trailer for it. You can go look for it on the YouTube yourself. And they've used AI to create a new game, or they're trying to use AI to create a new game. And it's that old problem that AI has got. I mean, it's getting better, obviously, but it's that old problem. There's a point where there's a man swimming underwater and his feet overlap his feet and then go through his feet, and his feet appear out the other side of his feet. Now, you could call that normal game design, but I call that AI making a mess of it. You know, you're trying to use this thing to make, in theory, better games, but it's not going to happen. The AAA gaming industry is almost a self-perpetuating. This is going to happen. They're going to cause their own downfall, and I can't find Nexus or Nexo. Searchy, please. Let's not searching. Let's have a look in. Let's try just the first few letters. No, that's Next War. Is it double X? Nope, that's not happening. Did it go by any other names? Nope. Nope. The name will start with the space to search by publisher. I have no idea who that one is. We're going to have to skip that one, I'm afraid, peoples. We're definitely skipping Nexa. That's not happening. I can't find it on there. I'm pretty convinced it came in a big plastic box, Nexa, to be honest with you. Does anybody else have any memories of this one? I'm sure it came in a big plastic box, and it sort of, it was like a big grey plastic box. I'm pretty sure it was that. You remember the one? I think I've got it somewhere. If I've played it, I can't remember playing it. It's probably a What's on the Tape one that I've played before. Well, we'll skip on and we'll see if we can get to 2112 AD. There's a little X beside some of these games, including Nemesis, saying doesn't load. Well, you can X the whole lot at this point. None of them load. Yeah, as I said before, though, I think that we're in a weird situation where, you know, if they're going to use AI in games, I think the creativity goes down, doesn't it? They think it's going to improve, and I will eat my words at some point, probably where AI gets to. AI should be supportive of things. It doesn't necessarily have to replace it. And when you start replacing creativity with machines, that aren't that creative. A lot of it's stolen, to be honest with you. You know, a friend of mine discovered that art and their works had been put into AI without their permission to help teach it. That's pretty bad, realistically. It's not self-learning. It's being given access to tons and tons of databases. Okay, we'll see if this loads. No, we're not going to get it, are we? We're not going to get it. We're not going to get it. Right. Let's move swiftly on to the PlayZX. This is bound to be in here. I'm pretty sure of that. 2012 AD. Sorry, 2112 AD. Let's put that in here. 2 1. Yeah, there it is. Design. Were they responsible for design? They were responsible for quite a lot of good games, actually. Quite good games. They had a lovely cover for them. They were like white with a central inlay with your picture in it, and then design at the bottom of it. I'm pretty convinced that I've got quite a lot of them. I bought a whole pack of them. Somebody was selling like loads of them, and I just bought everything. I couldn't help myself. I'm a bit of a gannet when it comes to these things. I was like in there, munching a bunch of rubbish and just taking it all. That was it. I swooped down like a great big golden eagle. Tore it all to shreds. Golden eagles, by the way, awesome birds. If you've ever seen them, there used to be a wildlife park near me, and they had a golden eagle. He passed away. He had a partner as well. He passed away. We played this before, by the way. He passed away, and that looks like K9 left to the left of him there from Doctor Who. But anyway, yeah, passed away. But huge birds though. Used to fly them as part of the sort of displays and things like that. Just massive, just gigantic birds of prey. Beautiful things. Beautiful things. Just gone off from random stuff to do with AAA developers. I can't believe that they want to go down that route. I knew it was coming. They took this to the game developer conference, which is the GDC. It's called. They took this. People did Dark took this AI slop to that and showed it off as their future of their gaming, and the investors who were there were all rather excited about this, because it meant that they could invest less and pump out another game that may or may not But what's going to happen is, let's be honest, I don't know how Steam's going to take this, because you never know with Valve what they're going to do, but the point is, if they start pumping this out at this level, we're just going to be swamped with crap. Endless variations of Call of Duty Warzone, endless variations of, in this case, Ark Survival, endless variations of but not good variations, just shovelware, just shit. And I'd say that I don't always use bad language too much on the channel, but utter crap, real monster-sized dog turds I can't be. This is not necessarily going to be a good future. I think you still need the creativity of people, and I still think they need it. I don't mind the tools supporting. I just don't think it's going to do it. And this is why I can't support. You just can't support. EA wanting to put adverts into the games like as if they were mobile games, and that should never have happened either. If you have some effing integrity, please. Putting in adverts. I remember the first time I saw adverts in a game, in a console game, and surprise, it was Microsoft. It was on the Xbox 360, and it was Crackdown. And do you remember how they did this? If you ever remember the whole thing, they put them onto the advertising onto the. Well, to be fair, I think it was also in Project Gotham Racing as well. They put them onto the billboards. The adverts. So I remember seeing Shoot 'Em Up with Clive Owen, that movie, advertised in a billboard inside of Crackdown.
And although don't have a massive objection to that, it's just the start of the end. You know, it's always like the beginning of the end when you start doing that kind of stuff. I mean, it wasn't too intrusive, but it was intrusive enough that I saw it. And it registered, and to this day, almost, 13 years later, I still harp on about how they did this. Microtransactions, Microsoft developed those. They put them into Dead Space 3, that became a game that you could pay to win by buying junk or parts to improve your weapons so that you could create the ultimate homing missile launching gun. Which point meant that it was no longer scary and easy to complete. Thanks for that, Microsoft. Thank you. We're all pleased with that one. We're delighted with that. Well, it's actually maybe that wasn't them put that in there, but they started it. They were always the first with microtransactions. I know that you're creating revenue, but my advice to everybody: cancel your Game Pass. Don't buy it. It's bad for the industry. It's bad for gaming. It's bad for indie developers. It's bad for developers in general. They make a lot less money. People complain about the standard or the average cost that something like a store like Steam or GOG or some of the other ones and take from the game. They take 30% of the value of the game. So a £10 game, they get £3, you get £7. Apart from Epic, which is about 15%, but who buys from Epic? Nobody. But the point is that you complain about that, but when you take the Xbox figures into account, not the Xbox, the Game Pass figures into account, you lose 70% of the value of your game. You take 30% home. Why the hell would you put your game on there? Unless you get a massive lump sum from Microsoft. There is no reason to. Anyway, let's get on to the game. Let's have a look at 2112. I've got keys. Let's move left and right. Don't know what fire is. I can't work out how to move. This is going very well. I'm now locked into this area. I've now crashed. This has gone well. Yeah, never played it before. Probably never play it again. It looks like Doctor Who with a K9, without a cool coat or hat, because that's what Doctor Who was about. I'm just gonna quit there. I'm not even gonna continue. Not even gonna continue. I'm gonna see what's on the next part of the tape. We'll see. We'll go from there. I was going very badly. All of a sudden, it went from being great to crap. All of a sudden, just crap. It's because I talked about all them dirty AAA developers. Yeah, keep your money in your pocket. Buy from indie developers. Sod the lot of them. Only buy them second hand. That's the answer to the question, by the way. Now, there is an answer. Buy it second hand, they don't get any money. It goes to the people you buy it from. That's the answer. Those games that I bought the other day there, both of them got Ubisoft on them. Bought them from a charity shop. It's going towards looking after animals in an animal sanctuary. Dogs, cats, and donkeys, because donkeys are always important. Everybody loves a donkey. Big fan of donkeys. Like them. I think they're awesome animals. They just look so tired all the time. They do. They always look tired. They look tired, but happy to see you. We're very happy to see you. They're like, hello. Yes, I would like another carrot. Thank you very much. Or do they have sugar lumps nowadays? Probably found that you're not allowed to do that. You used to give sugar lumps to horses, didn't you? Yeah, but they always look so tired. You know what I mean? It's like they're not quite a horse, so they're like, oh, life is rough as being a donkey. What are the things that I think about on this channel when I'm talking? We're on the donkeys. Well, I don't even know how that happened. We were happily debating the AAA gaming industry and the Nintendo Switch, and I've moved on to donkeys. So yeah, Mantrox. That's a proper 80s name for it. Mantronics, sorry. Mantronics. There's one with a speed lock on it. We don't want a speed lock. We want one without. Here we go, one without. So, Mantronic. I don't know about this one. I have no idea. Can't remember. Mantronics. Sounds like an 80s action movie that couldn't quite get Chuck Norris in there, went with somebody else, couldn't quite get him, and maybe a slightly Jean-Claude Van Damme, maybe on the edge of it. Dolph Lundgren. It's a Dolph Lundgren film, without a doubt. It's Dolph Lundgren, isn't it? It's like Mantronics featuring Dolph Lundgren. Dolph is man who requires tronics. Yeah, that's exactly it, isn't it? That's the one. It is Mantronics. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, that's not going to load, is it? That's not going well. That's bad computer. Dolph Lundgren is broken. It looks like he was wearing a helmet. You could see Dolph wearing that, couldn't you? Mantronics. I think this one's appeared before, by the way, on the 20 on the. I'm on the 20p arcade challenge now. Welcome to the weekend. That's a lot of fun, by the way. If you haven't watched that on my channel, I know a lot of you come to the for various Spectrum things and whatever else. 20p arcade challenge is one of those kind of weird things. It's a bit of fun. I kind of like it. It's not very well followed or very well viewed, but getting to play arcade games from back in the day, which are sort of usually randomly generated by people, selecting a game and then randomly doing it. It is really nice. I mean, there's the other gaming news for this week as well. Strap in. Here comes the other gaming news for the week. I'm dancing in my chair. You can't see me, but I'm dancing in my chair. Excitement. No. But here's the other gaming news that's coming up, of course. The Evercade has released its next, or should I say, you can now pre-order. That's going to crash again. I'm not liking this. Not liking this at all. We're going to try the other one. Try the other one. There's another loader. I hate these blooming speed locks. Stop. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to do it on tape loader as well for the 1 minute. We'll go with the other speed lock version of it. Please, Lord. Anyway, it's always when they go to those things. Mantex now. That's maybe what Dolph Lundgren's naming it in the movie. It's Mantex. Anyway, the other neat gaming news. Because I'm excited. I like Evercades. So the Evercade, they have released the latest next cartridges. One is the Gremlin, I think it's Collection 2, which includes Loaded and a few other sort of PlayStation 1-esque games. Really cool. Very happy about that. Then the things that get me very excited. Is that working? Is that not working? Not enjoying this. This doesn't load. I'm going to find any game with the name Man in the front of it. That is not working. That is not working. Right, I'm going to find the first game with the word man in the title. Right, man. Oh, that's good. That sounds great. We'll go with that one. Right, okay. Could be manager, but it's not. This is it's Rockstar's earliest game. What are you doing? Right, let's try again. Here we go. This is Manhunt by Omen Software. Never heard of it. Well, I've heard of Manhunt. That the Rockstar game was brilliant. So we'll go with this. It's the 80s, so you never know what this could be. I suspect it's a game about man-hunting, but it might not be. I like the loading bit. That was very nice. Little beep beep beep. A bit of effort there involved. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, so Evercade. So we've got that one. We've got one with Windjammers and Arnopp and quite a few other weird and wonderful. It's like a mixture one. It's called the Windjammers and Friends collection. It's a very weird one though, because it's like a mixture of arcade games. It's like they got the license for like a few of them, but they couldn't just they couldn't just do like a bit of Arnopp. You know what I'd loved them to do all the Arnopp games, because I love Arnopp. Arnopp had appeared in a Bad Dude vs Dragon Ninja, who's one of the first bad guys you meet in the first level. He then got his own game. He's platforming Russian, and then the second one he appeared in an SNK beat 'em up. So Arnopp's got a bit of a history. He's a bit of a dude along the way. I quite like Arnopp. It was quite a good game. Or quite like interesting character, slightly different. Oh no, I think he got his own game as well. Arnopp Revenge. I think that was the SNK one. Anyway, so we got that. And then just to sweeten it up beautifully, sweeten all the things that are coming out, we got the SNK collection, which has basically got Metal Slug, a number of beat 'em ups, what's it called, King of Fighters 2000. It's immense. We're getting those games on there. I know you can emulate them all, but you get to own them with a little manual and a cartridge. And a little box, and you're going to put them on the shelf and look at them and go, ooh. It's because it's not quite the same unless you buy the arcade machine, of course. But or you've got an AES system or an MVS system and an Neo Geo. But the point is, you can have those on the cartridge. It's like awesome. So that's coming as well. But just to top it all off, because they like to tease us over there at Evercade, and I like it a lot. They tease us. They've also got just to finish us off nicely. They also got the Neo Geo MVS Super Pocket, which is basically the Evercade mini one, with about 20 games on it. They've got the special edition Neo Geo one, which I couldn't get. I had to get the MVS one, which is the more expensive one, which is also a limited edition one. And they've also got one with Burger Time in the collection on there, which is the Data East one. Those are 3 new Super Pockets that they've released. Oh my god, they're going nuts. We've had Atari versions, we've had all kinds. I got the Capcom ones. I've got the Taito one. It's brilliant. It's a great time to be collecting the Evercade. It's really, again, still inexpensive, and gives you access to so many arcade games. From I'm going to start with the handheld. You've got the XP, the XP, as it's called, the EXP. We've got. I'll press fire button to play. Press any key. What are the keys? I don't know what the keys are. What are the keys? I think I've got to collect diamonds. But I don't know how to collect the diamonds. Oh, so it moved there. Ah, right, I think I've got it. Oh, is it there? Hang on. I think I've got it now. Hang on. So does that move? Does F move me up the way? Right. Okay. I think I've got the keys now. So it's V. A dreadful set of keys if it's what I think it is. Yes, it is. It's exactly what I think it is. I'll get a diamond. So they're the worst keys ever. They're literally like round a number on the. You were cut. But I got a high score. So they're like around the G key. It's like TV. Yeah, that's dreadful. That's really bad. Quite like it though, and it straight that way. So I assume there's a fire button. Is G like fire? Bloomin' heck, that's really hard. Is 0 fire? You fell in the pool. But I've got to think I've got to drag them into the pools. That's really weird. That's all right, isn't it? It's just slightly low end. So I bet it's basic. No, it's not basic because we just pressed the bake key and it didn't break. That's fair enough. Kill tomatoes next. Yeah, so I think it's a good time to be on the Evercade. I think the Evercade's a lovely little console. Well worth the. I mean, as I say, I was one of the very early adopters of it. I pre-ordered it during the. It goes back to the pandemic times. This actually, I pre-ordered it during the pandemic. I was very excited to have the original device. They never expected to expand it. They never expected to do updates for it, and then they discovered that they had a. Well, like most things, sometimes you discover you got a hit on your hands. If you want to play the whole nationalism thing, you know that it's Blaze is a British company. However, they do have everything made in China, so it's a British company. But if you want to play that game, there it is. It's a bit like buying from Retro Computers Limited. They're also British. But the point is that it's still a great little device. You've got the handheld. You've got the Versus, which is the little consoleized version of it, which allows you to put 2 cartridges in, 4 controllers. It's Wi-Fi and updates that way. It also collects a catalogue of all your games. Mine's got all my games catalogued in it. I've got my limited edition one. Then you've got the Alpha if you want to buy one of those, which is actually very well built. There's the one with the San Juan parts in it, and there's one without. Both are fantastic. I've got one of each. I didn't go the whole hog there, and I got the one with the Street Fighter as the one that was the high-end one, because it's just plumbing brilliant. The covers on the edge of it are amazing. But yeah, it depends how far you want to go with these things. The games consoles of today, sometimes you can't beat the stuff of old. But of course, again, the only thing I say about this is that everybody questions this one it's their curated collections of games from back in the day, so you don't get all of the games that if you had told me about SNK things, I would have expected to be like King of Fighters, maybe a whole collection of King of Fighters and sort of World Heroes, and possibly not the Metal Slugs together. But there are a few games on there I don't recognise, and that's the beauty of it. That's really, 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 really beautiful thing about it. I really hope they do Last Resort, by the way, separate, because Last Resort is one of my favourite SNK games, and I think that if they don't do it by itself, Killer Tomatoes. Killer Tomatoes. Was it Killer? Was it something of the Killer Tomatoes? I can't remember what it was. Do you remember what it was? I'm asking you and you can't actually answer me. What was it? I don't think it was... Was it Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? Attack. I think it's Attack. It's Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I was right. There we go. That's what it is. So it's Killer Tomatoes, but Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I'm sure I've got a copy of this in my collection somewhere. Based, I think, on there was a movie, wasn't there? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. So it's based on the movie. Roughly, I guess. Very roughly. So, can have a drink, even though it's going to be freezing cold at this point. Absolutely freezing. Powered up now. Lovely. Ready to go. Tackle the world. Just a little bit more. If you're watching this on Sunday, please have a lovely rest of the Sunday. I do apologise for the lateness of it. I love doing my work, and I really do love doing my work. But yesterday just ran on so long. It was well, it was you expected to be short. Oh, look at that for a cool loading screen. The man getting eaten by a tomato. There's a movie called Attack of the Killer Donuts. It's hilarious, especially when somebody eats one of the killer donuts and it eats its way out of their insides. Blah, old school sort of splattering of jelly bits and all that kind of stuff. They're really, really nasty in a terrible way, you know, that kind of thing. And to be fair, I think I've seen this movie actually. I'm sure it goes back to the 70s. Does the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? This is the I think that they're doing a new one, aren't they? They're doing the Tundra movie, the Toxic Adventures, basically. They're doing another one of those, aren't they? And it's got those were very weird back in the day, and apparently it's so violent, the new one, that they've had to tone it down, which is the reason why it hasn't been released yet. Quite interested to see that one, to be honest with you. Very weird game. Very weird sort of movie. Very weird. Very weird. I love that. Do you know what, though? Look how much resolution you get into this. There's a lot of resolution on this. Very high res back in the day. It's amazing when you've got this much space to work in. You can actually draw something quite impressive. I mean, take that whole image there that's on the screen. It's actually quite an impressive and detailed image of him being eaten by a tomato. Always amazes me, and this is like 82. This is back in 82 when these graphics were coming out. 1982. We did have the pinnacle of pixel art though back in the early 90s, I think. End of the 80s, early 90s. Pixel art was like, whoa! It was good. It was really good. It was phenomenal stuff. I mean, I still look at games nowadays and go, "Wow, that's amazing." What you're finding though is these brilliant indie developers are out there, and they've got such a lovely community. By the way, if you like indie games and you want to get involved with some of those communities, obviously there's all Discords and all this kind of stuff. I do recommend Bluesky. I talk quite a lot of indie developers on Bluesky. They're on there. They've moved there. They're comfortable there with promoting their products and what they're building. So it's a safe place for people who want to make different. And all the same, you know, it doesn't really matter, but different as well. I quite like that. I watched a video the other day about a company who made, I can't remember the name of the game, I do apologise for this. They were an indie developer. They did very little in the way of social media publishing. They put out their game with very little fanfare and did extremely well because their game was different. It was literally about packing groceries into bags, but because of that, they were different enough that people actually gave them they bought it. People liked it, and they've got quite rich off it. I love the way that they demonstrate things. It's like Kempston joystick is like the default. Look at the Kempston. Then you've got a picture of the interface too, and then you've got the ProTech one, which is the interface facing forward with the two joysticks on the top. It's amazing that that's like Kempston was like the standard for a joystick, so that's what you had. You'd have thought it would be Sinclair's own, but it wasn't. It was the Interface 2, of course. It's the Sinclair version of it, of course, with the cartridge slot for the games. It's really weird though. The ROMs for those. Not a single game that you've got for that, and I don't know if any of the modern homebrew ones are any bigger. But originally, all the games they sold were 16K ones, even though they said it could do the 48K ones. I don't think they could. I may be wrong. Somebody can tell me in the comments. But basically, that you put it in Infest 2, and they only had 16K games. And although they instantaneously loaded, which was fantastic, the little ROMs, it was fantastic. They never did any of the higher end ones, which is interesting. I don't know that it was a limitation of the cartridge or a limitation of the device itself, whether it was possible to do. I'm going to press the play button. I have no idea what the keys are. Oh, it's the 3. Oh no, I've not. I have played this. Let's rotate left and right. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. Let's jump. This is the adventure game. I hate isometrics. It's actually not bad though, speed-wise. I thought it was going to be worse than this. I thought this was an arcade game. I'll be honest. Oh, hang on. I'm trying to jump on it and I can't. There we go, we're out of that room. There's tomatoes there. What's this up here? I've got something to collect, look. Oh. We could jump over it though. A little tomato there. Actually, to be fair, the speed's not bad on it. Alright, I'm going to say, back in the day, I probably wouldn't be that... I wouldn't be unhappy with this. I'm not sure what I'm pressing to do stuff, but I kind of... It's alright, actually. Seems to play... Okay, that's obviously the top of the screen. I've got to collect little tomatoes, I think. Oh, I squished him! I squished him! Didn't know I could jump on his head and squish him. And he's dead as well. He's stuck in the door. That's really unhelpful. Yeah, I've killed him as well. Oh my god, you can push him around. Oh! That's all, folks. We got pureed enough. We got 0 pureed enough. We got supply pizza parlours with it. Oh, right, okay, fair enough. That's not quite what I expected from it. Right, do you know what? I'm done with the tape. We're almost. It's almost 2 hours. It's going to be almost 2 hours long. This, so I'm done with the tape. Let's go with the next game because that tape's just it's not brilliant, but you know what? It's what happens normally. But let's get on with this one. Let's see if we can load this one. Let's get army moves going. This is army moves. This is many people don't like this one. There's navy moves as well, isn't there? It's very hard. I think that's why most people don't like it. But there's a way to cheat, isn't there? Army moves. Army moves. Is there a 128k version? There's a 128k version. Let us try this one. Let's play it. I knew there'd be a 128k version. Yeah, this is basically... It's a series of mini-games. That was very much a thing back in the day. We had lots of mini-games. But, of course, it wasn't just a thing back in the day. It's a thing on the DS and the 3DS and even on the Switch. It's a series of mini-games. In fact, some of the best games nowadays with the game loop-wise have a series of mini-games that make up the main game. And you're thinking, you're looking at me and you're going, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean that there's a series of mini-games that make up the game? So, if we talk about Dave the Diver, very successful. Dave the Diver, here's the game loop. Game loop. You have... Please load. I don't think it's loading. Let's load this first. Well, let's stop that. Let's go down to basic and load it and let's turn that off. Yes, shut up. Shut up, computer. Shut up. Stop. Right, okay, let's go with the 120. Let's go with the 48k version. Let's go with this. Easier. Anyway, so simple game loop. Dave the Diver. Go with a simple game loop, and this is actually this is the bread and butter of I think a lot of not army moves, a lot of indie games. This is how you should present them almost. Dave the Diver. First, you go swimming and diving. So you dive. You use your harpoon to collect fish. So you collect up as fish you can. You could get a certain number of fish. You swim back to the surface. You get a few little odds and sods on the way that add to other bits and pieces. But the main thing is fish. Drop your load of fish. Fish again. Go take your boat back to the cafe and have help with the process of creating fish meals. So you basically help with waitering in the place. So you're a waiter and you're a fisherman. That's it. And then the game is built around that simple concept of game loops. What else am I thinking of? I'm playing what was it, Cuisina at the moment, or Cuisine? Yeah, Cuisina. It's basically you could call it a cozy game. It is probably a cozy game. Same thing, game loop. Go out, kill things in the woods, bring them back, cook them up as dinner while talking to the people in the rest of the village. Same simple game loop. One of the greatest ones for its simplicity of game loops is that probably of Stardew Valley. The initial game loop of the game is clear some space, grow some seeds, farm it, sell it so that you can get all the stuff. But it's so much more than that, because obviously there's mining caves and other things. But they all start with that initial simple game loop that gets you hooked. And you can keep doing if you want to. You can keep mining. You can keep catching fish. You can keep... It's a simplistic... The whole simplistic nature of this is what keeps people coming back. The reason I like Vampire Survivors games is that I can play for 25 minutes at a time and then, level up my overall abilities and do the same thing again, because I like the game loop. Okay, it's maybe a bit limiting sometimes, but the game loop is good. It's like playing any kind of game. The reason you play it again is you want to do the same loop. We're not talking about brilliant stories, because they do exist as well. You can have brilliant linear stories, but you just need to repeat the game loop. That's why people play Call of Duty Warzone. That's why people play Fortnite. It's a repeating game loop that you can actually get better at if the more you play it. It's a simple thing, but I wouldn't give them any money. They've got all the money. Should go back to the old days when they used to make Desert Strike and things like that. They were good. Yeah, they were good days. They were very good days. When the drive to make good stuff was the drive to sell later and again. Yeah, we've been here before, and I can't remember what the keys are. I think if I press 3, it starts the game. Oops. What's the fire? Yep, I have failed the mission. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Number 1 to define the keys. Ooh, is that... Ooh, Spanish to English. Quickly. Let's do the translate. I didn't realise that was going to be Spanish, actually. I'm quite upset, to be honest. Yeah, okay. Well done, Google, for doing 4,000 million words. That's right. Okay, right. This will be left. Is this up or down? Yes, I know that. Right. Up, down. This will be fire, I think. Lower. Sugar. Oh, that's fire too. Ah, sugar. Right, okay. Right. We'll do it again. Right, left, up, fire 1, down, fire 2. We put them all in spacebar, by the way. There's a reason for that. Because if you put them all in the same one, then when you fire, it fires all the missiles at once, which is really a kind of a cheat, but it's good. And then press 3 to start. Yeah, there we go. It does all of them at the same time. It's kind of the easiest cheat in the world for this game. Putting everything on the same button. So we go, make it along. I like the graphics on this one. I just didn't like the gameplay. You sod. I've just jumped off there like an idiot again. Here we go. I don't think I've ever got out the first level though. This is the level I've always seen. I've never got further along. I'm always stuck as the Jeep, making my way across. What was Navy moves like? I don't remember Navy moves. I don't think I've ever loaded it, to be honest. Oh, that was close. Oh, fell off, you silly man. There we go. I don't remember Navy moves. I remember Army moves. As I say, I think it was a very hard game, and because it was very hard, and I ran into that thing and failed the mission. I have failed the mission. I feel like I want one more go. Actually, I'm gonna have one more go. We'll have one more go. It's always worth one more go, as they say. Definitely worth one more go. And see if I can get a bit further along. I like this game. Do you like this game? So next week we've got another one of those tapes. Thanks to OnyxBox. We'll see whether or not any more of those will load. I have a feeling it's gonna be a great deal of not working tapes, unfortunately. But that's all right. That's what we do here. This is what we do over in Demon Central. Oh, come on. That was a bit off. Oh, you shot me as I jumped. You didn't let me jump. I didn't let me jump again. Oh, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Let's find out what SAS Thunder Flash is all about, and we'll finish off nicely with that. Yeah, so more of the tapes. They're big ones. So this series is going to be proper large. I'll say that more than next week. No, next week we're on a I'm going away on a weekend break. So I won't be doing. I'll be putting some stuff up for the main stuff. You'll have to wait, unfortunately. I don't know if I'll be back in time to do it. I'm gonna see if I can squeeze, because I've obviously been working this weekend, a day off. But if not, there won't be anything happening. Unfortunately, won't be any SAS. I'm going to put SAS in and see what it says. Thunder Flash. Got it. Operation Thunder Flash. It is. Oh. Yeah, I chose the game. Don't excited. Oh, God. It's being really awkward. Play. Operation Thunder Flash. Re-release, but not sure who by. Came out with Sparkles originally. We'll see. Hopefully it'll load. So I'm going to try and sneak a day in so that I can do this, but I don't know whether I'll get it released on the day. Just the way the Saturday day and then the evening. So I'll probably get my other videos up a bit earlier than usual for Friday. I'll see what I can do. If I can't promise anything, but I'll be doing my best. But we will be back. I promise you, I'm not disappearing anywhere particularly. Just a lot of work and a lot of things going on. Unfortunately, it's not my full-time job doing YouTube, which is a sad thing because it should be, considering the amount of advertising I've done for Dow Egberts all these years, especially for the coffee, probably various energy drinks, combined with many other. That's not going to load. Don't even continue. Let's try that again. Combined with so many other things, you'd think I'd be a multi-millionaire by now. In Vietnamese dong. I think a multi-millionaire in Vietnamese dong is about £50 and a goat. I think 70,000. I think is it like 100,000 is like a tenner. Oh, it's £1,000. So I'd have been £1,000. I'd have been Vietnamese dong millionaire. Yeah. There's that one, and I think it's at the Iran's one. I can't remember what that's called. I did look this up once. This is why I know Vietnamese dong is worth very little money in comparison to the rest of the world. I looked that one up, and I think the other one is the Iran's version of their. I think it's the rand or something like that. Is worth next to nothing worldwide. This is not going to load, is it? It doesn't want to. I'm going to let it go. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't load, I'll look for the first game that's on here that says the word Thunder, and we're going to go with that one because I would quite like to finish on a game that actually loads. That would be quite nice. Just one game that loads. That would be really good. No, I think that. Oh, hang on. You never know. I was just about to press break there. SES Operation Thunderflash. Still loading. Don't know, I'm bracing myself here. I'm bracing myself for the excitement of it actually loading. There's a thing about this though as well. I mean, there's nothing more nostalgic than loading a Spectrum game and listening to the sounds of it loading up. But it was almost a challenge, wasn't it, in its own right, to make sure that these things blooming loaded. I talk about many occasions those games that blooming don't load. And how those turbo loaders and things like that they thought were going to be were useful and better for copy protection were just the bane of every Spectrum owner's life. They're very much the bane of it. I was talking about somebody. I met somebody the other day, and I was talking to them about my love of sort of retro gaming, and they do you know something? They're the same age as me, and they're sort of similar sort of things, and sort of age and sort of background or whatever else is. And I talked about this especially. They said, yeah, I downloaded an emulator the other day, and I put it up so that I could play some of my old favourite games, and I was like, yep, that's. There is a comfort in nostalgia, isn't there? There's a comfort in things you did historically as you grew up. There is a comfort in it. There is a niceness to the whole thing. It's a comfy blanket of when you used to sit in front of the television and the old cathode tube there, and it was tuned in on button 12 on the. Nah, see, no, it's not gonna happen. Right, let's find one that says the word thunder at the beginning of it, because I want to end on a high. But yeah, there's you sat in front of the television and you just what we got, thunder. Ooh, I'm not sure about that one. Let's have a look, see what else we got. I've not played that one before. That sounds good. Let's go with that. Or have we? I think we might have. Oh no, we have played that one before. Let's go with that one. I found one. It's called Thunderhawks by Liversoft. Liversoft. Now, I've played games by Liversoft. They did one called Lunar Rescue. It's an expensive game. They didn't do an awful lot of games, from what I could tell. But it was it was. I think it was mostly basic programming. It wasn't brilliant, so I'm not expecting much from Thunderhawks here. But it's worth loading just because I want one more to finish on a high, because it's been a good day and I've enjoyed playing the games with you, and it's been great. And let's be honest, this video's nearly 2 hours long, so we might as well go the whole hog. Love this stuff. It's so much fun. But yeah, there's a coziness to a bit of a nostalgia of games you used to play in front of your telly. You know, button 12 on the telly, and you pushed in, and it was programming in for your Spectrum stuff, and it was great. I think this is a variation on Phoenix, which is going to be hard to beat because Phoenix, the game Phoenix, is really good. But anyway, yeah, but honestly, the you know, you sat in front of your Spectrum, you know, even if you had a rubber key or the other one, you'd loaded up your game, you'd got Attic Attack on the screen. You know, you know how to blitz through it, or you're playing Jetpack, you know, and you were wrapped up in cosy and warm and safe from the world while you played on your Spectrum. I tell you what, I've got a story to tell. I've probably told it many times before in the past. I don't think I've told it recently. It's about a friend of mine. He feels his Commodore saved his life. His Commodore 64. He decided to as a child, and you know, very young man, to go off to London to find a job, and couldn't find one. Ended up sleeping rough. And the one thing that kept him sort of not warm at night, but the one thing that kept him grounded with his life was that he still had his Commodore. By the time it was finished, apparently it was very battered and missing keys, but he had that. Not that he could load anything, but he kept that with him the whole time until life came around and sort of changed a little bit. But I think that's really nice. It's not you know, the one thing they held on to was their childhood gaming PC or gaming machine, you know, or their, you know, Commodore and wherever else it was. It's just get you right there, doesn't it? Get you right there. Yeah, bit of heartwarming stuff. Yeah, I definitely think this could be Thunderhawks. Definitely has the feel or the idea here from the graphics below of the game Phoenix. And Phoenix was really good back in the day. Right, okay, stop tape. Press any key. Level 1. What are the keys? Cursors, aren't they? There's one. There's 0 fire. It is. 0's fire. Oh yeah, I got no chance of hitting these. Have you seen how they're firing? Yeah, okay. There's no chance of hitting anything there. Wow! I don't understand it. You know, we could have at least play tested these back in the day. I don't think we did, though. Nobody did. I don't think they did. Oh God! Can you get him? And with more of them. Got to get out again. And there it is. It's the big base. You got to shoot through there and shoot the alien in the center. It's the Phoenix. It's a variation of Phoenix. I want it now. It looks it's difficult. It's hard to play, but But I want a copy of it now. It's cool. So you got to shoot through here, and then shoot the alien in the center. It's like Independence Day, but not so good. Oh god, that was close. Only got one life left. Oh, I'm dead. I could have killed that alien, and I'm dead. That was pretty good, though. Well, nice. I quite liked that one. That didn't play too badly at all. Anyway, I've been your host, RealGenericDemon. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. There is lots on the channel to watch. Please feel free to have a little look around. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.